After completing this section, you will be able to explain what is information framework, discuss key information framework concepts, understand the information framework and business process framework process linkages, explain how the information framework can be used. Information framework provides the standard for information and data model. The information framework analysis model scope covers all of the information required to implement use cases based on the business process framework processes. Information framework defines the things that are affected by the processes in the process framework. Information framework model provides the telecommunications industry with a common vocabulary and set of information and data definitions and relationships. This set is an object model to define entities and define the relationships between them, as well as the attributes and processes, termed methods, which make up the entity or object. Information framework is developed from a combination of other models, such as ITUTM 3100 and the Distributed Management Task Force, Common Information Model, DMTFCIM, and member contributions. Teamed with the business process framework, the information framework provides enterprises with not only a process view of their business, but also an entity view. That is to say, the information framework provides the definition of the things that are to be affected by the business processes defined in the business process framework. These things of interest are also called entities. The information framework and business process framework in combination offer a way to explain how things are intended to fit together to meet a given business need. A relationship is an association of business interest between two business entities, or between a business entity and itself. Information framework also defines details or characteristics of entities unambiguously. An attribute represents a characteristic of an entity. The key framework concepts are: a business entity represents something of interest to the business that may be tangible things, such as a customer, active things, such as a customer order, or conceptual things, such as a customer account. Business entities are characterized by attributes and participate in relationships with other business entities. Business entity instances typically move through a well-defined life cycle. An aggregate business entity, ABE, is a well-defined set of information and operations that characterize a highly cohesive set of business entities, loosely coupled with other ABEs. A domain is a collection of aggregate business entities associated with a specific management area. Domains that make up the information framework are consistent with business process framework level 0 concepts. An attribute is a fact that describes a business entity. A relationship is an association of business interest between two business entities, or between a business entity and itself. A set of domains are identified which are broadly aligned with the business process framework. Within each domain there is a high degree of cohesion between the identified business entities, and loose coupling between different domains. The top level of grouping, called a information framework domain, aligns with the business process framework level 1, definitions of market or sales, product, customer, service, resource, supplier or partner, enterprise, common business. The framework depicts the domains and Level 1 aggregate business entities, ABE, contained within each domain. As the development of the information framework has progressed, subsequent levels of ABEs have been identified. Business Process Framework and the Information Framework Business View Model are layered. There is not necessarily a one-on-one relationship between the layers in each model, that is, Business Process Framework Level 3 process elements do not have relationships, only assigned to Information Framework Level 3 ABEs. Figure shows Level 2 ABEs identified within the service domain. The service domain consists of a set of layered ABEs that are used to manage the definition, development, and operational aspects of services provided by a framework system. Entities in this domain support various business process framework processes that deal with the definition, development, and management of services offered by an enterprise. This includes agreement on service levels to be offered, deployment and configuration of services, management of problems in service installation, deployment, usage, or performance, quality analysis, and rating. Finally, this domain also includes entities to perform planning for future offerings, service enhancement or retirement, and capacity. The information framework addenda use a mixture of descriptive text, UML diagrams, and tables, which formally define the entities and attributes. UML diagrams provides concise and precise definitions with background reasoning and explanations. An entity represents a collection of instances of the same type. That is, a chair entity represents the concept of chairs, not just a single chair. An entity name is usually a noun in the singular, such as animal, cable section, customer request. Entities represent both physical, for example mobile phone, and conceptual, for example ownership, things. Entities in the information framework are shown using a box with 3 segments. Top segment represents entity name. Middle segment captures attributes. And bottom segment is for methods. In some information framework diagrams, a simplified representation of a single box has been used. Associations are represented using a UML class diagram. Only class diagrams are used in the information framework. An association is shown as a solid line joining 2 entities, allowing us to show the relationships between entities. This relates to business information such as customers purchase products. When an association has its own separate properties, it is shown as an association entity, with a dashed line joining it to the association that it is representing. Association names help us to understand what the association represents. The name will usually be a verbal phrase, like person has name or customer orders a product. Associations are also assigned a cardinality at each end, indicating the number of instances participating in the relationship. In some cases, an association may have an association role defined. An association role is used when an entity at one end plays a role in the association, and is often used in self-joins. for example an association between two individuals in a family. To model the business rule, a parent has one or more children. Each child has two parents. Information framework is used to enable a single view of data across a range of products. Also, it enables them to create an application integration framework. An information model will be directly used by independent software and application vendors to build code-like solutions. System integrators, where it can be a starting point for defining generic APIs, message formats, etc., between software components. Consultants, which comprises of process experts for process redesign, business and system analysts for application design, enterprise architects to analyze inter- and intra-enterprise business activities, and business intelligence data warehousing experts for a business-wide view and common terminology. Service providers, to manage a network composed of network elements from many network element providers. A common information model will streamline the processes associated with information exchange, both within an enterprise and between the enterprise and its external stakeholders. Having a standard information model provides the following benefits. It allows for simplification of information management by providing a common terminology and reducing unnecessary variation. It allows for unification of information, both within an enterprise and between enterprises. It provides a bridge between the business and information technology groups by providing definitions that are understandable by the business, but are rigorous enough to be used for software development. These benefits then enable business benefits relating to cost, quality, timeliness, and adaptability of enterprise operations, allowing an enterprise to focus on value creation for their customers. This completes the module. Click Next Topic from navigation menu.